Thank you, Jimmy. So, Libya, and we've launched Operation Odyssey Dawn. Let's break that down. What is it? Well, Odyssey is a long and dangerous journey, and Dawn, the very beginning of something. So we're at the very beginning of a long and dangerous journey. Great, they couldn't have picked a less reassuring name if they'd called it Operation Eterni Fuck. After the UN approved Resolution 1973, a clutch of world leaders gathered in Paris. There's Cameron there, Angela Merkel, Sarkozy, and, of course, Berlusconi hanging out the back of it. Berlusconi only turned up because he misheard and thought they were planning to invade Labia. Anyway, as soon as that meeting finished, French warplanes flew over Libya, but the first strike was psychological as the military supplied the news with intimidating, sabre-rattling footage of all the threatening hardware they had, presumably to psych out the Gaddafi regime. We saw missiles being loaded, warplanes taxiing on the runway, and even individual Air Force pilots gearing up for combat, checking their guns, popping on Kevlar, marching towards their winged beast, and the Special Forces guy, doing up his boots, popping on his jacket, putting that in there, checking that, pumping his shaft. Christ, this is sexy. Slinging his mighty death stick over his back and marching into Libya to single-handedly take those fuckers down, Sorry, that last bit wasn't actually the news. It was a thrilling muscle-bound sequence from the riveting Schwarzenegger movie Commando. If you haven't seen it, it's basically a documentary about an angry Austrian penis who can't act but can kill. Anyway, at the first sniff of war, the news excitedly showcases its own hardware. So we saw Krishnan Guru Murthy standing by the Channel 4 News war floor. Sky whipped out the Sky Straighter, which turns the conflict into a sort of touchscreen version of Risk, while CNN sexualised everything with a blonde presenter stroking a giant iPad with its own military app store. Look at her, brazenly showing off her growler. CNN also made clear how many US warships are in the vicinity. As you can see, there's the USS Stout, the USS Barry, and at the top, the USS Ponce. The Stout, Barry, and the Ponce. Who's naming these warships? Danny Dyer? What next? The USS Muppet? That's the problem with this war. Everything about it raises questions. Who's in charge? Do we have Arab support? When will it end? Who let the dogs out? What becomes of the broken-hearted? And don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Well, don't you? But the biggest question is, are we targeting Gaddafi? Yes, Gaddafi, this man who seems so unconcerned about his safety that this week he didn't just appear in public, but apparently in concert before an audience of excited human shields. He thinks he's a grime MC, stage name Colonel Gaddafi. And he's still got plenty of fans, not least amongst the stars of Libyan state TV, such as the newsreader who went on screen to pledge his loyalty to Gaddafi live on air in a way you can't quite imagine Hugh Edwards doing.
In the name of Almighty God, I pledge to you, my dear leader, that I will sacrifice my last breath, my last bullet, my last drop of blood, last baby and child for you.
Lovely. George Alla Gunfire there. In a moment, the news where you are. But first, the weather with Peter Cockcroft. Good night.